Welcome to our business mindset Q&A. It is my first Instagram live and everyone's been telling me about how much fun they're having with it, so I want to have fun too. Here we go. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about business mindset and then opening up to a Q&A. Why the heck is it important to talk about business mindset? What is business mindset? Well, I'll put it like this. There are so many entrepreneurs who are stuck in their business. And we know that they're burnt out, some of them are miserable and frustrated, and this is because they've tried everything, right? And I put that in air quotes. They've tried changing their website, adding a new app to their website, different launch models. They've tried hiring staff, Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram ads. They've done it all. They've tried to be on every social media platform. They feel like they are just pushing everything up the hill and still giving everything and nothing's working. So what's wrong with this? What's wrong with this? What could it be? If you've tried everything else, what could it be? Well, I'm going to propose that the problem is usually located in here. It's your mindset, right? There's usually something that you don't know or haven't discovered yet that when you change it, everything in your business changes. You are the business, right? As the entrepreneur, as the CEO, as the founder of the business, you are the business. And if there's a problem with the mindset, the leadership, the psychology of the leader, then there's going to be problems in the businesses, right? Welcome, Florio UK. Hello. We're talking business mindset today and we're opening up to questions. So if you do have a question, please put it in the comments. So most business owners, they've tried a lot, right? They've tried all these different things inside their business, but it's not working. They're not seeing results. The clients are not coming. So what can you change? I've got my delicious green tea here. Well, what you can change is your mindset, right? And mindset is really beliefs. So what do I believe about my business, right? There are very helpful beliefs and there are not so helpful beliefs. And Florio, if you like, you're welcome to just tell me what you're working on. Let me know if you're working on a business, if you are interested in mindset. What are you working on? Let's start a conversation. So business mindset. There's one that I've discovered is extremely important for business owners, and that is the business owner versus the business operator mindset, right? And this is a concept that comes from many different places, but I've heard it most from Tony Robbins at some of his seminars. And when I heard this concept, it changed the entire way I did business. I had been building businesses for probably 15 years at this point before I heard this difference between a business owner and a business operator. And here it is. When you are operating your business, you're doing all the things, right? You're wearing all the hats. So you might, let's say you for an example, you run a bakery and you get there at 4 a.m. and you bake all the cakes and you sweep the floors and you're at the front counter doing the customer stuff and taking cash and you're doing the accounting, the website, et cetera, right? You're doing all the things. This is not only a recipe for burnout, it's a recipe for not having any money, right? Business operators are never very successful. This is the mechanic who owns a mechanic shop who's doing all the work himself. This is the, well, I don't want to single out anybody in particular, but anyone who is doing all the things in their business, even if they have staff, you can still be an operator. You can still be doing things you shouldn't be doing. That's a recipe for being burnt out and not being as successful as you'd like, right? Whereas on the other side, when you're a business owner, you realize that your number one priority, your number one value to the company is to set the direction. You have the vision, right? The entrepreneur is the person who sets the vision for the company and whose job is to grow the business and help it to achieve its mission and vision, right? So that's the difference between business ownership and an operator. Okay, Florio, you've asked, do you have any suggestions for embodying the desired state? Yeah, so let me ask you, what is your desired state, right? I can tell you what some helpful states are when you're in your business. A helpful state being in your business is feeling certainty. Certainty is highly underrated. Certainty says, I know this is going to work. I know that I have the ability to create this thing that I'm creating. I have the ability to figure it out, right? Everything is figure outable, as the saying goes, right? And to embody that state means you just believe it in your body, right? It means you feel it in your nervous system. And so how to do that? It really comes down to practice, right? As we tell ourselves things, it becomes a belief, right? A belief is just a thought you keep on thinking. And so if you keep telling yourself, I got this, I got this. This is one of my favorite mantras for my clients, my coaching clients, is I got this, right? When they run into a challenge, as one of my clients did this week, this didn't go to plan. There were 3 things that didn't go to plan with the website, with getting a business number, and there was one other thing. And so, we go back to our mantra, I got this. I can figure it out. It's all figure outable. And sure, as a coach, I can help you, brainstorm on that. But really, you've got this. You've got this, right? And that might include going to someone who knows something that you don't. Florio says, yep, the person who feels they can't rely on others and has to do it themselves. That's such a tragedy, isn't it? I tried to do everything myself as well. I just recorded a reel. It's not posted yet, but I was telling people about my experience in a company that I started called Rogue Refined. It was an e-commerce website. It was, helpful goods for men, right? Upgrade your lifestyle with these helpful goods. But really, I had cheap wallets and watches and sunglasses from China that I was selling. So there was a disconnect in the business model somewhere, right? And I probably knew this in my heart, but I was too scared to actually acknowledge it. So I kept hiding in my business, right? I didn't want to go to other people for feedback. I didn't ask for mentorship. I didn't ask for guidance from other people. I didn't ask my customers for feedback. Hello, Jay Kingans. Good to see you. How are you doing? Kingans, tell me if you have a second or the inclination, tell me what you're working on these days. And we're talking business mindset today, right? It's a Q&A format. I don't want to talk the whole time. So if you've got more questions, and let me know. So I was building this business and I wasn't letting anyone really know what I was doing. I wasn't asking for help. I wasn't talking to my clients. I wasn't seeing how they use the product. That business was doomed to fail from the beginning because I had a very closed mindset on this. I was hiding. I was hiding in my business and I was not letting anyone give me some feedback. That's not a mindset that's helpful, right? So let's talk more about business mindset. We've talked about the owner versus operator. If you're operating your business, you're never going to be very successful. You're never going to have a lot of money. Whereas if you own your business, where you create a systems and a model that you can pass off tasks and roles to other people, you can delegate. That's when you actually will start to grow, right? What else can I talk about? Working hard versus working from an optimal state, right? I posted about this earlier this week, and I'm going to say something really radical here. Hard work is absolutely useless. and when you hear someone say that, you're like, what is this guy talking about, right? But I truly believe this in my core of cores. I've experienced this personally, and I have heard this from all the business gurus who are actually, they've built a happy life, not just a financially abundant life. Hard work doesn't get you what you want. I'm just going to say it. Hard work it can certainly bring you some money, but you're probably going to have a miserable life. And let's be nuanced here. Hard work means push. It means struggle, suffering, misery, long hours, lack of sleep. You don't feel good, right, with hard work. And the bargain most people make is that I'm going to work hard for X number of decades, and then one day I'll retire and be happy. In my opinion, that's a very dangerous model, right? Florio, totally agree. It's a shame that we're programmed to work hard our entire lives. Yeah, of course. I mean, this is what the dominant narrative is in our society, right? In Western society, and I would say probably in most of the world's societies, right? There may be some Pacific islands that don't believe in this. Hard work can get you through a period of time, right? But I would say there's a much better mode of operation, and that is working with joy, working with passion, love, working from an optimal state, right? And what's an optimal state? It means You, as the business owner, as the entrepreneur, you are in a place of joy most of the time. Appreciation, love, gratitude, excitement, passion, right? What do you think works better? Toil and push and struggle, or being in a state of genius most of the time and building your business from that energy, right? Obviously, the answer is clear. Well, I hope it's clear, but for some people, maybe they're just learning they're just hearing these concepts for the first time. I worked hard for many, many decades, right? It was ingrained in me. My parents were old school European. My grandparents came to Canada with nothing. They built up a life. They taught their parents, work hard. You need to work hard for what you get in life. And that mentality was passed along to me, right? So I started working very, very hard. And there were decades where I would work in my business from 8 in the morning. I'd get up, shower, whatever. I'd start working. And I would push through without really a break for lunch or anything like that. I would push through until sometimes 7, 8, 9 p.m., Some of that was fun, but some of it was a real toil, right? And some of it was just because I thought, if I don't keep working hard, I'm not going to survive, right? That's very much a survival mentality. Hard work is a survival mentality. Hard work is a lack mentality. Instead, you can work with joy, you can work with love, you can work with inspiration. These are wonderful things. And hello, Louis Hewitt. Welcome to the conversation. If you like, let me know what you're working on and how you're feeling today. We're talking business mindset today, and what that means. I'm gonna take a drink of my tea. So in my life, I've stopped working hard. It doesn't mean that I don't work long hours some days. I just do it with a different energy. If I'm going to work into the wee hours of the evening, I'm doing it because I'm passionate and I love what I'm doing. It's not hard work because I'm not pushing, right? That's the nuance that I think some people miss, is that you can still be working many, many hours and never work hard in your life, right? Let that sink in. And so typically my day looks like this. I'll get up around 6, I'll do my meditation and I'll visualize, and I will make a coffee and read my book. Then my daughter gets up and we get her ready for daycare, and I talk to my wife a little bit. And then I'm going into self-care stuff, more of it. So it will be exercise, which I love. It will be reading good books, right? I'm reading this fantastic book right now. It's one in the Law of Attraction series, which, by the way, has changed my life, and we can talk about this later. I might have a guest joining me on this live later, so we'll see. But, I'm doing things first thing in the morning to take care of me, right? And in this way, I never really work hard. I first put myself into a great state, and when I'm in that great state, the work feels like it's effortless. It feels like magic, right? And I'm very fortunate because I've built a life where I get to do only what I choose, right? And that's the beauty of entrepreneurship. When you are your own boss, you have the potential for freedom, right? You have the opportunity for freedom. Too many entrepreneurs, they've used their business as a set of handcuffs, and they're locked into working all the time, right? I had a consultation with a gentleman the other day. He runs a fairly successful trades company, but he told me that he went on vacation to Florida, I think it was, and he was never disconnected from his business. He was always thinking about it, right? He was always on. Always there was something he needed to deal with back home. That is not freedom. That is a mindset that will hurt you in your business. Florio, we're also programmed to think that doing something we're passionate about is worthless and won't give us an income. Yeah, and that usually comes from people who are not very happy with their life, right? People who are experiencing joy do not have that mindset, right? So this brings us to a really other great point. When someone gives you advice, it's very important to look at what does their life look like. Are they actually happy? Usually it's probably not, especially if they're giving you advice that's kind of like this miserable stuff. You have to work at a job you hate, and then one day you can retire and sit on a beach somewhere. That sounds like death to me. That sounds awful. I would rather enjoy life now and live in a state of joy for the next however many years I have left in my life, right? It's an insane bargain to work for 40 years doing something you hate, or even 1 year at a thing you hate, and then expect to be happy someday. So here's a hint. If you're not happy, if you're not committed to being happy now, you probably never will be, right? Because there's no such thing as later. There's no such thing as the future or the past. It's only the thoughts we think in the now that are the future and the past. So if you're not committed to being happy now, you will never be, right? And you can change that in an instant, anytime you want. All right, let's get back to mindset. And by the way, Florio, I'm doing what I'm passionate about, and because I have allowed myself to do that, my wealth has flowed. It started to flow in the last, I would say, 6 months even, right? I've been going through this wonderful radical transformation the last year with my wife. We both discovered wonderful new ways of living and operating in the world, and the income has flown with it, you know? We just had another payday yesterday. It was miraculous. It was unexpected. It was out of the blue. And I can tell you, passion and income are very much correlated. It's wonderful. And it's certainly not, whatever someone enjoys and loves to do cannot be worthless. It's impossible. And you can monetize just about anything. So let's talk about back to mindset. What are some really unhelpful, poor mindsets? I'll give you some of my greatest hits. I have to work as hard as I can just to survive. Right? Nonsense. I have a coach because I believe in coaching deeply, and I've always had a coach. My coach has built a $500,000 business last year, US, on 2 to 3 hour days, 2 to 3 hours of work a day, Monday to Friday. Right? This year she's on track to crack $1 million in income. Right? Still 2 to 3 hour days. Because she has systems in place and she has the mindset of someone who has very good boundaries around their time and someone who is committed to maintaining this lifestyle that she wants to live, right? She wants time with her kids. She wants time to go out and play, right? And to be at all the kids' events, right? So it is entirely possible to build a thriving business on 2 or 3 hours a day. I work about 4, right? 4 to 5 hours a day. I start working around 11 and I'm done by 4:15. I shut my laptop. I go pick up my daughter. That's non-negotiable for me. So that's important to me. Another not so helpful mindset, I always have to be on, right? I'm an entrepreneur, so the business doesn't work unless I do. Nonsense. It's nonsense. If you've built a business that way, it's not a very good business. It's not a very successful business. So you can build a business that works when you don't, right? That's actually like the point of entrepreneurship, is to create freedom and wealth. It's not just the money, right? It's a very poor bargain to, I see lawyers working 100-hour weeks and they're making, they're making, 120K, but who cares? Your life is a jail, right? Not to single out any particular profession here. You don't have to always be on. In fact, when you take a break mentally and literally from your business, you recharge. You have inspiration for new ideas to come forth in your business, right? Another really poor mindset, even on vacation, I can never truly relax. Well, then why are you on vacation, right? There's never enough money coming in is another one. A lot of entrepreneurs are in this state because they believe it. And what you believe creates your reality, right? Your thoughts that you think repeatedly become your beliefs. Your beliefs are literally manifested into your reality. This is the basis of the law of attraction. Oh, you're a lawyer. Okay, interesting. And I wonder if you're willing to share with us how many hours a week do you work? And do you feel like it's a fair trade for your time versus the money you're making? And are you happy? I know that's a lot of questions, so don't feel obligated to answer, but I'm curious about your situation. Another one, there's so much to get done and never enough time, right? This is the entrepreneur mating call sometimes, that, I'm just so overwhelmed. I was in that position for a long time, and I was not at all happy, of course. I felt like, look at this to-do list. I've got like 500 things. How am I supposed to get to all of them? Well, the short answer is you can't. You just can't. And that's okay, because for most entrepreneurs, there are, I would say, it's the 80-20 rule here. 80% of the things that you think you have to do, you can immediately stop. And there will be no impact negatively on your business, right? And these are some of the things that we look at first day of coaching, right? We look at, and I was doing this too. I was doing email marketing. I was writing the copy, scheduling the emails, finding the photography. I was doing all the social media platforms. I was on 7 social media platforms. I was doing the accounting and the bookkeeping. I was managing the back end of the website and customer service. All the things I was doing. And of course I was stressed and burnt out because it is absolutely not possible to do it all, right? The great news is you don't have to. There are a few key things that you can do in your business to make it successful and allow you to have the lifestyle you want. And usually that's really just marketing and sales, right? Marketing and sales, and I would add customer service to that. When you have really great marketing, you bring your ideal client to you. And hello to Sunflower Pack and to French Toast Vintage. Welcome, welcome. We're talking business mindset today. We're talking about the beliefs and the mindset that lead to a thriving, productive, wonderful business, right? So if you two that just joined would like to share a little bit about what you're working on, what's your situation, how's it going, what are you doing today, I would love to start up a conversation. And this is a Q&A, so you have a question or a comment, please post it in the comments and we'll talk about it. Back to this unhelpful mindset that I have never enough time to get it all done. You don't have to. You can streamline. I cut so many things out of my business that were not working. In fact, I killed an entire one of my businesses to simply focus on coaching. And guess what? My income is on track to 5x this year. And I have so much less stress because that other business was just killing me, right? It was sucking all of my time. It wasn't set up in a way that was allowing me to have the lifestyle I wanted. Florio, I used to, often past midnight, but scaled back since I started my own business. That's great. It's good to hear that you've realized that what you were doing was not working. You've scaled back. And congratulations to you for starting your own business. This is my passion is entrepreneurship. I really am in love with the idea of what it can do for you to create that wealth and the freedom that's just, I don't think it's possible inside of a 9-to-5. So kudos to you. Another really unhelpful mindset, building a business is hard. It's really hard. No, it's not. It doesn't have to be. A lot of people make it hard, and it's related to the previous point because they think they need to do everything. Yeah, it is hard to do everything. It's literally impossible. So what do you do about this? That building a business is hard. You simply replace it with the belief that building a business is fun. And it's joyful and it's thrilling and you get out of bed every day and you're excited to do it and you love your life and the clients are easy and you're attracting the right ones and business is booming and you're thriving and you have more money than you know what to do with. That's a much more helpful mindset, right? And some people will say in response to that, yeah, but you got to look at reality, right? It's hard. And I will say, no, it's not. It's not hard in a universal sense. It's hard because you're deciding it's hard. And you can choose to see it as easy and fun and free and flowing. It is possible. And you know, I know this maybe is a new concept for some people, but this is a conversation we can continue. Another unhelpful mindset in business. Clients are obnoxious and they want everything for free, right? I had one client who just hated negotiating with clients because he says they always wanted to take you for a ride. I always wanted a discount, right? This was a contractor. And I said to him, it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to see your clients that way. You know what? They probably do want a deal, right? Everyone wants a deal and they want to feel like they're a master negotiator. So it's very simple how to deal with this. Stop getting upset, number one. And number two is build a 10% margin into your prices that you can allow you to negotiate down to the price that you want, right? The client will be just as happy and you're going to get the price that you want. So that's one possibility. What is another unhelpful bit of mindset? Being an entrepreneur, it's just normal to have stress at home, right? Problems with my spouse, not seeing my kids enough, right? It's not normal at all. My wife and I, we are in the best place that we've ever been in our 9 years of being together and 4 years of marriage. And it is because, you know, we're both entrepreneurs, but we've decided to build our businesses in a different way. We've opted out of the it's hard mentality. And we've opted into We make time for each other. She and I, we went this morning after we dropped our daughter at daycare. We went to brunch and we had a wonderful time. And like, we're just like kids in love again, you know? It's fun because we've decided it's fun. And the relationship with my 3-year-old daughter, it's awesome. You know, I get to take her to swimming every day this week after school. And we're having just so much fun and we play all the time. So at least, you know, with my anecdotal experience, it doesn't have to mean problems at home, right? Another unhelpful mindset. I just need to keep grinding and then one day I'll magically hit success. That is the message that we get. You know, there's a book, I think it's called Good to Great. And what it says is that the two concepts that I remember. The first one is find your hedgehog concept, right? And the hedgehog is good at one thing and it's curling into a ball and protecting itself, right? So you as a business should find the one thing you're best in the world at and do that. And the second concept is keep pushing on the flywheel, right? Imagine this giant, like 3-ton flywheel and you push it a little bit and it moves an inch. Then you push it again, it moves 2 inches. And then eventually you got it rolling and it's generating its own momentum, right? I kind of like that model, but it's a little bit flawed because there are so many people who they don't have their hedgehog concept yet. But yet they still think they can push on the flywheel and get to success. It's never going to happen if your fundamentals are flawed. And what does that mean? It means your product market fit is usually off, right? And I don't want to get too much into the nuts and bolts concepts of business because this is a mindset chat. And by the way, it's a Q&A, so your questions are very much invited and welcomed, and we'll start a discussion with those questions. So post them in the comments. But you can't keep pushing and grinding if your fundamentals are wrong, right? And sometimes the fundamentals are, most of the time, your fundamentals that are off are your mindset, right? You're telling yourselves all these things that just aren't true. You are complicit in creating the situation you say you don't want. And it doesn't matter how much you push and grind, you're not going to get the results you want. So how do you tell you're moving in the right direction? Well, number one, it's how you feel. If you feel really good and you feel aligned and you feel like you're having fun with it, you're probably moving in the right direction. And your clients and your customers will feel that. And who's more likely to buy from you? A customer that sees a person who's miserable or a person that sees someone who's joyful? And the answer is clear, right? Okay, one last unhelpful mindset, and then I'll talk about some really helpful mindsets. Trying to choose which one here. I'll rest when I'm dead, right? Or when I'm successful. Unfortunately, too many entrepreneurs are burning themselves out very rapidly and repeatedly. I was one of these people. I would get burnt out every 3 months. I would, in a fit of anger, rip all my goals off the wall and just like crash on the couch for a couple of days. That's not productive. That's not helpful. And there's no way to build a business. You need to rest when you're tired. Being tired is a signal from your body that you need to rest. If you're not getting good sleep, if you're not sleeping through the night, if you are falling asleep ruminating and waking up stressed out, this is a major problem that you need to address ASAP, right? Because it doesn't matter how hard you work. If you're in that state, you will not do any good work, right? Sleep is such a fundamental. I almost always start with the sleep conversation with clients. I ask them, like, how do you sleep at night? Are you getting at least 7 or 8 hours? I mean, Jeff Bezos does. If it's good enough for him, why not you, right? Some people see it as a badge of honor. I only sleep 6 hours a night, 5 hours a night, 4 hours a night. That is frankly not very smart. It's not helpful. It's destroying your physical state and your mental state. You're chock full of cortisol if you're not getting a good sleep, and you literally are dumber when you're chock full of cortisol. The science is there. Okay, what else? Let's talk about positive mindsets now, and I think we'll wrap it up after that. What are some really helpful mindsets that you can adopt when you're building a business? Here are some of my favorites. I only do work that lights me up, right? Is it always possible right away, especially if you have a business that involves a lot of icky tasks? No, it maybe takes some time. But you can stop, as I said earlier, you can stop doing a lot of things that are just not providing results. I was doing it for years. And you can start delegating, right? Maybe you don't have employees yet. That's totally normal for people who are at the beginning stages. But look, in this year, 2023, it's incredibly easy to go on somewhere like Fiverr.com, Upwork, Freelancer.com, even like, probably Facebook Marketplace, and find someone either in your country or overseas to do some targeted work for you. You don't need to pay full salary. I would say hiring someone full-time is a last resort, right? You do that at when it's needed, when it's costing you more to pay freelancers than it would to hire someone full-time. But there was a time I hired a part-time salesperson for my company, and I had at the same time someone doing the website, and I had someone doing marketing, mostly email marketing, right? And dealing with customers. Those 3 people only cost me, I don't know, it was like 20, it was maybe like totally combined, it was a full-time position, 40 hours a week, right? And the average was about $20 US for their hourly rate. I was delegating all the things that were not inside my zone of genius, right? And this is brilliant because I, as an entrepreneur, should not be sweeping the floors. I shouldn't be baking the cakes. I shouldn't be really even doing accounting. Have a handle on your money. Know where the money's going, absolutely. But to physically do the things that are really like grunt work that you can offload, not a good idea. You can delegate for a relatively affordable amount to graphic designers, web designers, a virtual assistant. I wouldn't go for the $4 an hour one. You get what you pay for, but you can hire a virtual assistant from the Philippines for, let's say, $400 a month. That are supposedly quite good. I've never tried it, but I think it works. Anyway, other positive mindsets. As an entrepreneur, I can create more money than I know what to do with, and that is absolutely true. If you believe that your income as an entrepreneur is capped here, which I did for years, I was making $3,000 a month. I was capped there, stuck. Until I changed this belief that I can make as much money as I want. There is literally no limits. The limits were off for me after that. Another positive mindset. Delegation is the key to my freedom. It is. Of course, no one's going to do it as well as you in the beginning. But you don't need someone to do it as well as you, as the same level of quality. You just need someone to do it so that you can free yourself up to go back to building the business, which is your greatest role, your highest role in the business is building that business, right? So delegate. Another great mindset for your business, money works for me and I know how to create and use money, right? A lot of people don't trust themselves with money. This is why people who win the lottery, they've spent it in a year, right? Because they don't trust themselves with money. That's a very poor mindset. You can flip that around. I'm supported by the people around me. Brilliant, right? You could look at your staff or your family and say, God, these people are paying the, what, right? And many people do. Oh, look at all the silly things that my staff did this week. I've told this person already how to do this and they're doing the same thing I said not to do. You can waste your energy on that kind of thing, or you can start to see what you want to see, right? This is Steve Jobs, what do they call that? The reality distortion field, right? He knew how the law of attraction worked, I'm pretty sure. He knew that what you focus on is what you get. And so focus on what you want, not what reality is. Reality is just what you've created with your thoughts so far. Change your thoughts and your reality changes. That's how it goes. Another helpful thought, I can take as much vacation as I want. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, especially if you build your business in a way that actually you're an owner, not an operator, right? You can take as much vacation. Maybe not today, maybe not next week, but you can build your business in the way that allows you to take 12, 16, 18, half a year off, right? I know people that do it. And my wife and I, we're going to be off for all of August. I take 3 weeks at Christmas, and we have usually vacation for my wife's birthday in April, and maybe a couple days here and there. And I'm only going to take more vacation as my business becomes more self-sustaining. This is one of my favorites for mindset. The universe is guiding me into abundance. I actually have this posted on my wall over here as a reminder that, and this is my belief, you know, maybe you don't agree, but I do believe that the universe is very well ordered. You know, the planets are spinning in nearly perfect alignment in a lot of ways for billions of years. There's some kind of order here, right? Whether you assign this to some divine creator or not, it doesn't matter. I believe that there is a universal intelligence that is orchestrating things, and I believe that it's benevolent. And I believe that the universe is working for me and not against me, right? There's no malicious intent out there. What I want, I can create. That's a helpful mindset. And that's the mindset that has shifted everything in my life and business, is believing that not even sky's the limit. There are no limits. And that I can be, do, or have anything I want, right? Another wonderful, wonderful mindset, I am worthy of good things, right? Not in the sense that there's some person out there just saying you're worthy, or that, you know, I've worked so hard and now I'm worthy. No, you're born worthy, right? Because you say you are. Because you don't need to prove anything to anybody in order to get something, right? This is a message of quite a lot of religions. It's a message of a lot of personal development. You get to decide you're worthy. And a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with this. I went to a Tony Robbins Unleash the Power Within in 2016. Sharks Arena in San Jose. 10,000 people in the audience. And Tony asked, how many of you feel like you're not enough? 99%, I would say 95% of the hands went up, right? And these are very intelligent people who are building, in some cases, like literally billion-dollar businesses. But 95% said, I feel like I'm not enough, right? This is an epidemic because our society tells us we have to do X, Y, and Z before we're worthy. It's BS. It's complete BS. You are worthy because you decide you are, right? And if you have the choice of deciding good self-worth or not so great self-worth, why not choose to love yourself and believe in yourself and feel good, right? Feeling good is the key to success in your business. Let's do one or two more. Thanks for the love. My capacity is unlimited and I can be, do, or have anything I want. I'm borrowing a phrase from Law of Attraction here. I can be, do, or have anything I want. I believe that's true. And since I've adopted that belief, that mindset, it's becoming true. I'm creating wild, wonderful, unimaginable things in my life because I chose first to start with that belief, and then it leads to inspired action. That inspired action creates things that I've just are unimaginable in my life. We're so fortunate, my wife and I. My capacity is unlimited. It's true. And your capacity is unlimited. And I intentionally do not use the word potential because potential it speaks of someday down the road. Right? It's not that someday you have the potential to be all this amazing whatever. You have that capacity, that power now, in this moment. You just have to unlock it, right? And this is what we do in coaching. I work with people to adopt those helpful beliefs and mindsets that lead to absolutely wonderful, miraculous transformations in their life, right? The best definition of a miracle I heard comes from the book A Course in Miracles. A miracle is just a change in your perception. Right? And let that sink in because it's so true. A miracle is just a change in your perception. Last positive mindset I want to share with you, and this is so foreign to a lot of people. Marketing and selling are fun, right? I don't know about you. I grew up in the 80s where the shopping channel was pretty popular, and it was like phrases like, but wait, there's more, and order now and you'll get another this and that and the other thing, and two for the price of one. It was very sleazy and cheesy, right? That was selling. That was marketing. Some people still try to do it. I don't think they're at all successful with it. Marketing today is simply this. You create a fantastic product or service that truly impacts people's lives for the better. Then you tell people about it. There doesn't have to be any selling involved. If you are convincing, cajoling, pulling people into the sale, like calling them 17 times, sending them 500 email messages, LinkedIn any cold leads is very unproductive in my opinion. That is not good selling. That is not good marketing. That is chasing. And people feel that chasing energy. And do you like it? I don't think so. You maybe want to be chased by your partner, your romantic partner. You do not want to be chased by someone trying to sell you something, right? You want your client to want your product desperately. And you can do this by using attraction marketing, where you simply tell people exactly what it is they're going to be, do, or have by using your product or service. You paint a picture for them of the transformation that will happen in their life after working with you or your company, the outcomes possible, and showing them what other clients have experienced or achieved working with you, right? If you can do that, there's no selling involved. You simply tell people this is it. And I have all kinds of application calls with potential clients who we figure out that it's not for them. It's not a match. I'll send them maybe one follow-up email to just check in and maybe share some insights I had, but I'm not chasing them. I never could bring myself to do cold calling or calling leads. Ugh, awful. So you don't have to do that. You have my permission, for what it's worth, to never have to do cold calls or chase leads. It doesn't have to happen. You can simply create a desire in someone for what you have to offer and then tell them about it and keep telling them about it, right? Sometimes it takes 10 times for them to hear it. And my coach, actually, this is the one, I think the last thing I'll share with you. Marketing is kind of like you have a bunch of puzzle pieces, right? And one person needs to hear this puzzle piece and that one and this one before the picture makes sense, right? So, I mean, look at my Instagram feed here. I have recently, in the last 6 posts, I have something about law of attraction, which is a really strong basis of my coaching. Mindset, that hard work is useless and you can actually have fun and be work in the flow with your business. I'm talking about certainty as a missing ingredient in your business. I talk about what I did with a client the other week and how I changed his mindset. And are you avoiding uncomfortable conversations, right? Because a lot of people are stuck in avoidance. So as they hear different pieces of the puzzle, then they'll be ready to move, right? So we've talked a lot about mindset. If there are any final questions, please let me know. But I'll be dropping off in a moment. So let me know what is mindset to you, and how is your mindset helping or hurting you? All right. Let me know in the comments or send me a direct message. I had fun with this, so we'll be doing more lives as we go. Thanks so much for joining me, Florio. I appreciate your comments. Yep, that's definitely the energy of forcing, not inspiration. Yeah, forcing is useless. Inspiration leads to incredible results. Thanks for sharing so much valuable information. You're very welcome, Florio. Thanks for joining me and sticking it out on this conversation. I had a wonderful time. Thanks, everyone, and we'll join you on the next live. Until then.